You know, I don't notice a huge difference. At least it's paper towel sharp. That's always a plus. I think I'm supposed to let this stuff dry before I use it, which I already did. It sat there for a couple hours drying. But that edge is glassy for D2. D2 never really gets that kind of glassy finish. It's really interesting. Is there anything else that I have that I can sharpen? The downside of keeping everything sharp is that everything is always sharp. What do I have sitting around that could be sharper? We can get this maybe a little bit sharper. Sticky. Very, very sticky edge. Yeah, that's sharp. But I don't think... Got a ton of people in here. Nobody said hi. Hi, how you doing, Peter? This thing is insanely sharp, too. Brian, how's it going? How does it look under the microscope, though? Oh, there is a small difference. Cool. I don't think I put enough of the diamond stuff on here. I'll have to look. Ooh, Tactile Knife Co. is coming out with a new knife. It's a skeletonized rock wall by the looks of it. I have no clue if I'm supposed to use more. But you never know if you don't try. The problem, I think it needs to dry before you use it. So yeah, this whole bottom, all that white stuff at the bottom is just diamonds. Okay. So that's a lot more. And now at least the whole thing's coated. So we'll give it a little bit to dry. And then we'll try it out again. The diamonds in this stuff settle very, very quickly. So they're 5 micron. The whole thing ends up being sparkly when you shake it. But the longer you sit there and wait, like if I hold this here for a minute, then all the diamonds will settle down in the bottom corner of it. Just gonna wait a little bit. I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. So this stuff doesn't quite work the same as metal polish, which is interesting if you ask me. Yep, it's already settling. All the gray. Yep. Some weird stuff. So let's look at a blade fresh out of sharpening. Give me just a sec to find one that I think would respond well to this. That'll do it. We're going to go with a Kershaw Launch 5. Let this dry for a little longer. Okay. Take off the burr, and then right after that we'll use the new strop. That looks good to me. Okay. Microscope, see how that edge looks. Not terrible. And again, not terrible. So now we're going to try the diamond emulsion strop now. All right. Microscope again. The before edge. Okay. And the after. Not a big difference, to be honest. So it makes me wonder if I'm using it wrong. Like, I can tell it's doing something, I just... Looking clean, though. Still cuts a paper towel. You know what? Let's see if it's going to make a difference on the harder stuff. We'll take a look at some Maximate under the microscope. A before and after. Because I haven't noticed much of a difference at all. Okay. I started about 20 minutes ago. Okay. So that's how that looks under the microscope. Now we'll check it out after. I'm not 100% sure what I'm doing. No, specifically stropping with the diamond emulsion stuff that I just got today. It's my first time messing with it, and I'm not seeing a whole lot of a... Never mind. Yeah, I know, that's a difference. I don't know if it's going to show up on camera, though. That's the biggest problem. Okay, before side. Looking good. For Maximate, anyway. After side. Yeah, you don't see shit under the microscope, but there is a difference in person. I have very, very sensitive fingertips, and that's the best way to explain it. This side has a lot less friction than this side does. Probably not. I haven't broken in the strop yet, so it catches a lot. Well, I haven't even tested if it's shaving sharp yet. Plus, I sharpened this the other day, and then I've been using it, so... This was just to see a difference. Holy shit, that's sharp. Okay. That might be hair whittling sharp, actually. I don't have hair that's long. You try and grab a hair and just none of it. Oh, there's one. Come on. Just that one tiny cut is all I need. Nope. It is not hair whittling sharp, but you're right, it is hair popping sharp. I slid it up in one motion and everything that it touched popped right off. That spot on my arm is now bald. It's a lot sharper than I've ever gotten a knife, actually. That was impressive. Paper towel, maybe? Roscoe, what's up? So So it'll cut a paper towel, but it's not enjoying it. Nice and clean. That was actually the cleanest cut I've gotten tonight. And normally they just don't end up that sharp. And don't get me wrong, they're sharp, but they're not hair popping sharp all the time. So I think I've convinced a company. The company's name is Sharpo. They make sharpening products, if that wasn't obvious, based off the company name. Anyway, I think I've convinced them to send me their lapping films, their diamond lapping films, to try them out for sharpening harder materials. I'm interested in seeing how that goes. You know what? I finally understand what the term hair popping means. I get it now. And I can see why that's appealing. It is entertaining to make one motion and everything that was on your arm literally popped off. Hilarious. What else do we have? Damn me and having everything sharp already. Alright, what do we test on? Everything on the table's already sharp. Yeah, people say, oh, I'm not impressed until it cuts all the hair off with the grain instead of against the grain. Like, dude, with the grain is easier. Nice. You know, with that being your name, you'd think, no, that actually makes sense. Alright, so not that this case needs to be any sharper, but I just want proof. Yeah, that thing's already sharp as hell. Well, yeah, you're the crab with a knife. You don't eat other crabs. What kind of monster do you take me for? Thinking you're a crab that eats other crabs? Paper towel? This has become the standard test at this point. Holy shit. Yep, that line is bald too now. Okay. Paper towel versus Kershaw leak. Not clean. Appreciate that, Randall. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm 100% sure that I'd probably have more subscribers if I told people to subscribe. However, I find people telling me to subscribe to be very annoying. So I don't tell people to hit the like button, and I don't tell anybody to subscribe either. It cuts it, but it still doesn't enjoy it. Yes, I have eaten 3 times today. 2 times today. 2 times today. Yes, that is what my regulars are here for. They remind everybody to hit the like button and subscribe. I remind everybody that this channel exists by live streaming. Let's test some MagnaCut. It's been a while. I need to send this thing in because it's busted, but it's got lock rock. My first shaving test. Oh, this was before I was even getting shaving edges. That was a while ago. I think when I bought this, I only had this stone. And that was a while ago. A few months minimum. Alright, let's start off. I kind of just want to hit the 12 and leave it at 12. Okay, that's not happening, never mind. The lock rock that it developed. I mean, it'll probably be fine, but They said that they would repair it if I sent it in, and then I forgot to send it in. So, well, I hit hard times and I couldn't afford to send it in, but that was a while ago, and I think now I can actually afford to send it in and have it fixed. So huge shout out to Tactile Knife Co. Now, I probably shouldn't give them a shout out until they fix it. That's just free advertisement with no commitment. So we'll see. Yeah, it's just kind of glazing over. I am doing just fine. How about yourself? Yep, that is 8CR for you. Okay. Okay, well, first tip, don't use your knife on other metal materials. I could have told you that, but you never asked. The Null Raiden. Holy shit, that thing's sharp now. Damn. You know, I'm not going to call myself a professional because it's still not hair whittling sharp. However, god damn, that is sharp. Come on, give me a hair. The downside of having healthy hair, you try and grab, like, pull a dead one out and nothing happens because you can't find one. And then the one that you do get falls out of your hand. So I can't grab any hair. Let me grab some paper, the regular paper. Yeah, I can't afford anything from Winterblade Co. Can you do that? Yep, I think I got it for like 90 bucks. Brand new, they're 200, but I got it for like 90. I'm pretty happy with it, other than it breaking. I'll ship it in when I get the chance. I need to actually take the time and ship it out. And remind them that they said that they would fix it, so. By the way, for everybody curious, I just started using this stuff. All the diamonds are sitting at the bottom. All that white stuff. That's all the diamonds sitting at the bottom. Then you shake it. And there we go. Yeah, sure. Yeah, the sheath I got for it was made by MKM. And this is supposed to be for fixed blades, but because this thing's so thin, it kind of just fit. And then I kept carrying it like that. It's molded itself around the bayer, and it kind of just fits perfect. It's a magnetic sheath. So what I did was, normally when I'd carry this, I'd stick it on the front of my waistband inside, and then I'd just snap it, and this would be hanging off my pants. And it was just always nice to have a little bit more of an exposed looking, more expensive, more high quality knife to show off, because at the time this was the most expensive knife that I had. Overall, I'm pretty happy with the knife. I just, the locking mechanism broke. Something happened. I was playing with it, opening it and closing it, and then I opened it like this, and I heard a loud crack, and then it just never locked up right ever again. So now, instead of sitting there solid, it has this much blade play. And this is moving back, not forward, back. So it is blade play. It's not, it's just a slip joint. They do that. No, they don't do that. That's just this. And it didn't do it before. So don't be telling me they just do that. I know for a fact that they don't. No, it isn't good, but there's nothing I can really do about it other than sending it in. And one, I've been too lazy, and two, I couldn't afford it at the time, so yeah. I gotta get a box of stickers. Like, I got a sticker from Lacey, another sticker from Lacey. I got a shit ton of these Blade HQ stickers. And actually, the sticker that's lasted the longest, along with my AMSOIL sticker, is this one. This Civivi sticker fell off, or wore off, a few months ago during spring. It lasted, I think, a little less than a year. Because I put it on in fall of last year, and it came off in spring of this year. Well, I think that it is where something broke. I heard it. It was frickin' loud. Loud enough for everybody in the room to ask, what was that? That's not a common occurrence. Fucking autocorrect. Gotta ruin everything, don't you? So yeah, the diamond emulsion does something, but it's not noticeable, really. Well, it hasn't been noticeable to me. And by, I meant visually, like, physically it's obvious it did something because the knives are now sharper, but you just can't see that it did anything. Yeah. Give me a sec. Curious if there's a way I can show this off. I have really light hair, so it's like blonde. Okay. Right there. It just took it all off. There it is. Well, honestly, I don't have a whole lot because I'm always testing to see how sharp my knives are. So my left arm is just bald in some spots. That was a smooth shave, too. No irritation, no skin irritation at all. Which is a weird thought. Wish my fucking razor would do that. It did that dry with no irritation. That is literally sharper than my razor that I use to shave. And you wonder why I debate on moving over to a straight razor. Something I can actually get sharp instead of just needing to buy new heads. Fucking wasteful is what it is. Gotta be careful with those straight razors though. Those things, at the angles that you're sharpening those at, you touch yourself wrong and it's just wide open. Who's awakening? What now? So this one will not shave. Oh, yeah, it will. Never mind. But it isn't hair popping sharp, so we'll fix that. And I don't think it needs much more than just stropping. And for anybody curious what we're talking about, it is a bird. I mean, think about it. If you're good enough at sharpening that you could get a knife with a rough finish like that, by the way, that is Maximate. That's not your average everyday knife steel. Getting that thing hair popping sharp and sharp enough to shave without skin irritation dry. That's impressive. Is this for sale? No. I'll see if I can find another, but at the moment it isn't. It's still being used. Excuse me while I shave my face with a knife real quick. Why does this shit actually work? I've got a bald spot on my cheek now. So I shaved this morning, and you know, it starts growing back pretty quick for dudes, so I got a bald spot on my cheek and a bald spot on my neck. That is hilarious. Well, this stuff obviously works. It doesn't make a huge visual difference, but in practical use, it changes everything. And again, just for shits and giggles. Holy shit. Weird test. Never done this before, but I'm curious. Can everything do that? Well, that wasn't smooth at all. That tore. No. That is so effortless, by the way. Just sit there with two fingers and... Oh, no, I can't do. I can do these two. Huh. Probably help if I clean the edge off. Yeah. Damn. Paper towel. We must test against the paper towel. Sorry, I need to cut it in half first. Okay. Paper towel. Not bad. It's not quite as sharp as the other guys can get them with the paper towel stuff. But I think I've noticed that they do weird things, and the weird things I'm referring to. Well, no, I'm not going to make that claim. That's a risky claim right there. If I had magazine paper, I'd show you guys. But I don't. Instead, for your viewing entertainment, I have cardboard. Pens and pen blades, what's up? I'm not really pushing, by the way. I'm kind of just... I'm just... this. That's how much effort I'm doing. How's it going? I just got to mess with diamond emulsion for the first time. This stuff's weird. The edge feels like glass. Like the very apex. I do multiple ways of testing. Is the pull to see how it catches, and then I do the sideways, and that makes a lot of people uncomfortable. But so I don't recommend doing that at all. It's just one of the ways that I test. Let me guess, chat's broken again. Fucking YouTube. So the toothy edges, when you have a toothy edge, you don't feel comfortable doing that. If your body has any form of survival instincts, it'll stop you from moving your fingers across it. So if this had a toothy, like let's say 600 grit finish or a 400 grit finish even, my fingers would stop before I moved. But this feels like glass, and it's just kind of... I'm not pushing at all. I'm just touching. So basically what I'm trying to get at is it's getting to the point where it's so sharp, my fingers don't think it's sharp. But it has no toothiness to it. It's a smooth edge. And we can prove that with a microscope. Not quite polished. Oh, you can see the difference right on the edge. Okay. Damn. I was kind of hoping that would clear out the crap that's in there. Nope. Oh well. Ooh, I poked myself. I just realized when they're doing the paper towel test, a lot of them still have it on the roll. So when they're doing that, they're holding it kind of taut like this, and then they're doing the cut. And when I do it, I'm most of the time just freehand slicing. But if I did do it like them, not very many people are going to find cutting paper towel impressive. But I want all of you sitting here watching to go grab a paper towel and one of your knives and try and cut a paper towel with your knife. If you can do that successfully. No, I just kind of poke myself every once in a while, but they never start bleeding. Fine, Jim. Don't grab a paper towel. I didn't want you to grab a paper towel anyway. Okay, everybody except for Jim. Try and do this. Damn. But this is my first time playing with diamond emulsion, so that's what we're sitting here doing, and that's what all the blue stuff on the paper towels is. I sprayed a chunk of leather that I had that I bought specifically to make strops out of. And here is my 5 micron strop. Literally just a piece of leather with diamonds on it. I need to ask her if she makes her own stuff or if she has it made for her and sells it. Oh, so you're going to sit here and fall asleep to the sound of my soothing voice? I appreciate that very much. Does it at least cut paper now? I mean, it did before, but it didn't cut it great. Oh, shit. Hell, you hold a decent edge and... Damn, it actually had trouble doing that the other day, by the way. I know it seems kind of dumb, but I'm playing with a new toy, so judge me all you want. But I spent money on this shit, and it is weird, and I like it. Can this? It couldn't do that last week. We actually had trouble cutting paper last week. So she sent a Band-Aid too. So I think it's Cutting Lace EDC now on YouTube. I bought some 5-micron diamond emulsion from her, and that's what we're playing with. And so far, it's worked out great. It's like the next step after the high-end stones. But yeah, just a small touch-up on Maximate. I think I sat there for like 45 seconds to a minute and a half doing this really, really lightly. And after doing that, it was, don't get me wrong, it was sharp before, but it doesn't like cutting paper. And now it's sharp enough to, in one pass, pop every hair off of my arm. Just that whole section that it touched is bald. And sharp enough to shave it without skin irritation while dry. This is so weird. Okay, guys, so I kind of want you guys to try this stuff out. It's pretty inexpensive. If you're in the US, shipping included, it's $23. So you go onto Blade Binge, or I think you can buy it directly from her. Where's her sticker? NFLEDCknives.com. Is that where you can get her stuff? Probably not. Okay, so she just gives stickers to everybody. Okay. So cutting lace EDC. Oh, cool. So if you buy directly from her, it's less. Kind of wish I would have paid attention to that. So real quick, I'm just gonna go through her link tree and okay, so it is 23. Yeah, so here it is. 23 bucks shipped. By the way, a lot of different micron sizes. But the stuff I picked up was 5 micron. She just swapped to new micron sizes, by the way. There didn't used to be that many options. So I'm kind of glad I waited. But yeah, all the diamonds sitting at the bottom. So you shake it. Now you're supposed to shake it well before spraying. Not that I need to use any more because I just don't think I do. Let me show you the page. Did you find her on Blade Binge, or did you go to that other website that I said that she just sent a sticker for? Okay, cool. I'll be honest. I didn't notice a huge difference at first. But holy shit, that stuff works. You wouldn't have any idea. Highly recommend at least trying that stuff. And the strop material that I use, let me show you guys what stuff it is. I cut it. It's a belt. You're gonna want to go onto YouTube, which you're already on if you're watching this. And then you're gonna go over to Outdoors 55. Outdoors 55 strop making. And we go into the come on, there's one of these videos. Do you want the Thero? I'll sell it to you. This shit's sharp, by the way. Cuts a paper towel. Damn, I guess you don't want one then. Oh. I gotta find the video. Never used it? So you have one if never used it. Well then you can keep that one and buy mine and then use mine. Because I don't want it anymore. Photos. Come on. I think they're right where they belong. They're not underrated to me. And the reason why I say that is because they're priced a little high for the materials that they use. Oh, there we go. This is the video, I think, right here. So I don't get any money from showing you guys this stuff. That's not the piece of leather I used. I want to know where that belt that he recommended was. There's one where he bought a belt off Amazon, like belt material specifically. And then I think my favorite brand at the moment is Spyderco. They're comfortable. I can't find his video on making a strop, unfortunately, which means I can't find where I bought the material, which sucks. So you guys are kind of just stuck knowing that I used a belt material to make a strop. Uh-oh. A Benchmade guy. AJ, what's up? I everyday carry a Spyderco lately, and it's on the table. And it doesn't need it, but this is just pure entertainment to me. Oh, I can complain a lot about Benchmade. Yep, every hair that thing just touched on my arm has now been shaved off. See, I'm like only mildly worried about doing it on the other side. Let's see if I can find a spot that we can go at it. And you guys can see. Okay. Right here. Just cut all that off. God, by the time we're finished with this stream, my arms are going to be bald. Not that they aren't already. Okay, we can see that on stream too. Damn. That is just so weird. Oh, I forgot to clean it off. Explains the poor cutting performance. Oh, what's he shaving now? Well, my face. You know, I'm going to be honest. I should really stop shaving with a knife because I'm going to have splotchy sections. Like I shaved this morning, and then I just shaved again in some spots. I tend to stay away from Camillus for the same reason that I stay away from Gerber. You know KO works, right? I'd much rather be called by the new channel name. Got rid of the old one for a reason. Well, I keep giving Gerber a chance, and every time I give him a chance, I regret it. You're right. Maybe I'll just ban you, and then you'll stop saying it. I'll agree with that. The older United States made stuff wasn't bad. But just like Gerber, once they moved shit to China, it turned into shit from China. I'm not making you a mod tonight, no. The only reason I'm not saying you will never be a mod is because maybe you will be, but not tonight and probably not for a couple years. Probably not. That's not a guarantee, it depends. Oh, I think I'll probably hit 2K by the end of the year, so probably not still. One of the best and cheapest knives you found. You know what knife I need to try out? It's from K-Bar. We'll see. But asking isn't what's going to make it happen. When I decide I need new mods or more mods, I'll choose some people, and whether you're on that list or not depends on behavior. What's the K-Bar? No, it's a folding knife that I'm looking at. I think it's in titanium. There it is. It is in AUS-8. I believe with a titanium frame lock. Yep. It is a decent looking knife. And being a titanium frame lock, at least it's something to look forward to. But what is my safe queen? I'll pull it out real quick. I don't see why not. Let me take a drink first. Everybody go get some water. It looked tan to me. I'll say that. It is tan G10. I'm out of water. I'll be right back, and then I'll pull the safe queen out. Sure, it is interesting looking, and it's $25. Honestly, you could probably buy that before you could buy anything from me. Actually, that's not true. I guess it does depend on what your parents say, too. Oh, save queen. Pardon me while I grab my cheap knife case. There's my save queen. Oh yeah, it is definitely the best save queen of them all. Give me a minute, I'll open it here in a sec. I gotta clean up after myself or else I never will. It's called a fleeting moment of motivation. Those don't stick around long for me. What green thingy? So there's the safe queen right there. Oh, the mat. It's over on the ground. The mat was getting in the way of sharpening. I wouldn't expect you to be very familiar with it. Yep, so this is a Kershaw Junkyard Dog 2 in titanium and SG2. So this is titanium, a titanium chromium alloy. It is a large knife. I think it's around 9 inches long overall. Or no, it's like 8.5. Titanium frame lock, made in 2007. We've got 2 of them. What's the price? This one goes for like 200. This one goes for, the last one of these that sold went for 445. So, yeah, fun. No, I think he meant the 9 inches is above average joke. It is, in fact, the most expensive knife in the collection. You know what's interesting is when you press those emojis down over there really fast, more people show up. I went onto my buddy's stream with an auto clicker and clicked that a bunch. And I think I got his stream from like 15 people up to 90 in a couple minutes. It was wild. Yeah, that is the Safe Queen. See, we got 15 in here now. It's interesting. Trust me, if my other phone was able to actually use that feature, got 170 something. I don't know, it keeps on going up and down. See, 19 now. And honestly, I'm less worried about dropping the Safe Queen and more worried about dropping this. The Safe Queen will survive. This won't. That would be horrible if this thing broke. I would hate to have this thing break. Oh, but it's just a knife. How the hell are you gonna break a Spyderco? I'm not gonna answer that question because nobody asked it. Do I have any customs? No, I don't. I find that they're typically out of my price range by quite a bit. And I've yet to find a custom that I need to have. No, I don't make customs. That's actually not true. I do custom patinas. Typically on CRKT knives, but anything that uses copper I can do a patina on. What do you mean that poor table? It's not poor. It's a regular table. It makes an average income. I didn't scratch it with my fingernail. Yep. Doing custom stuff. I need to actually do one and get some edits done with it. I'm not good at doing edits, and I'm not very great at taking pictures either. But, well, actually, I'm pretty decent with pictures. Pictures for an edit, though, that would not be easy. And what's the table gonna do? Cry about it? Well, this table is actually made for eating dinner on. But you mean revolting? Don't the French just kind of give up on everything nowadays? It is a decent table. You know what sucks is I'm trying to sell stuff. And don't get me wrong, stuff has been selling fairly well, but I'm trying to sell more stuff. So if there's anybody that's interested, got a Kershaw Iridium up for sale. I have no clue what wood it is, but I remember that it was a heavy son of a bitch. He did not come back, no. After he felt singled out. I don't have anything for sale in Maximate, no. The Iridium I have up for $45, but I'm having a $5 off deal, so it's $40. Let me get the calculator out, and if you buy directly from me, I'll give you the price. As long as you're in the US. If you're not in the US, then you'll have to buy through Blade Binge, but if you're in the US, you can buy direct, and I drop the price. Clear 40. So after shipping from Blade Binge would be 55. From me would be 43. It's an aluminum handle. So aluminum scales, steel nested liners. Nice and smooth. Once upon a time, it had sand inside of it, and I fully disassembled it and got rid of the sand. I have 2 leaks up for sale. And I have a 3rd one coming up for sale. These are 35, but again, for people that are subscribed, they're 30. I've got a Rat 1. Needs greased. It was not. That leak is in Desert Storm tan. Chef Rocky, what's up? One of these days we need to do one of them tandem streams that I was doing the other day. The rat one right there is OS 8. I have another one in D2. So this one's in D2. I have a rat 1 D2, not a rat 2. I do giveaways. The next one's going to be happening at 2,000 subscribers. A subscriber was kind enough to, I wouldn't call it donate. He did a pretty big donation, but I sent him something anyway. So the giveaway knives are going to be a mini Praxis in D2 and a Civivi Cadus in 14C. And the Cadus I'd love to keep, but I bought it to get rid of it, and he kind of bought it for my subscribers. So at 2K we're doing 2 giveaways, which is the first time I'll be doing more than one. Both are roughly, actually the mini Praxis is like 30 right now. And then the Cadus is 62. Every giveaway that I do, everybody gets a gram of silver. It's just my way of helping people kickstart their diversity in currency. Having a little bit of silver isn't a bad plan at all. It is more value dense than a lot of regular materials. Yeah, that stupid 3-bladed knife. I still have that thing. Nope. It's free. As long as you're in the US. I don't ship outside of the US because international shipping gets expensive, but all my giveaways are free. You don't have to pay for shipping, and you don't have to pay for the knife. I find paid raffles for giveaways, that doesn't make sense. I think scalpels are usually in 420 J2. Nope, if you click on my profile picture is a knife that has 3 blades, and it is stupid. Yeah, 420 J2 is sharp, or it can be sharp. Well, yeah, surgical steel, but when I think of surgical steel, I think 420 H2, or J2. And it doesn't hold its edge worth shit, so that's why they're a one-use type of thing. Oh no, that's a real knife. I don't think I have it on the table anymore, but it does exist, and it is in my house. I appreciate the sub. I do try my best. I had to put off my last giveaway until I hit like 1,300 because of money issues, unfortunately, but now that somebody put in enough money for me to be able to afford the giveaway, I'm using some of that money to make more money, but you know, I'm leaving enough for the giveaway to happen as soon as it happens. As soon as I hit 2K, I am always live streaming. I really am. I live stream. I try and go daily for around 2 hours. Every once in a while I'll miss a day, but sometimes I just I don't have the social battery all the time to be live streaming. Pens, we will see you later. I don't make any money off YouTube, actually. If you'll notice down here, there is no option to donate. And that is for tax reasons. I really don't want to do my own taxes. So the less income I have, the easier shit gets. However, buying stuff from me, yeah, scalpers are just bleh. Give me a sec. Scalpers are disposable too. But yeah, buying stuff from me helps support the channel. I'd much rather people would buy something from me instead of donate. And I understand it costs more. However, you get something out of it. That's the biggest deal to me is I don't like the thought of you guys giving me money unless you get something out of it. And sure, you get entertainment, but you can get that for free too, so we'll see if you end up becoming a mod. Keep calling me that, and you probably won't, though. Okay, keep calling me that, and you won't. How about that? I give people so many chances. That is like the biggest downside about me is I will give you more than one chance. And the more you screw up, the more chances I give you. Maybe one of these days I should stop doing that. I do, yeah. I give too many chances often. That was boring. No, he's nice. It's just you tell somebody to stop and they don't stop, so what do? You don't make them a mod because they can't listen to you. Yeah, this is Maximate. Fancy shit. Shit's expensive, dude. I'm scared of breaking it. No, it is not for sale. It was given to me. And I cut myself with it, so it bit me on the finger the other day while cleaning it. Which means I can't get rid of it. I have something in M390. Oh yeah, I sharpened it, and it is nice and sharp. I don't have a whole lot of paper to test on, but earlier I would my arm is kind of bald now because in a single pass, every hair that it touched just popped right off. And that's what they mean by hair popping sharp. Like it touched the hair and then the hair just popped and went falling somewhere else. I now do fully understand the meaning of hair popping sharp. I could probably do that, but that's edge angle mostly. M390 is your favorite? You know, somebody did just ask if I had an M390. I don't have a lot. I think I have one knife in M390. I'll go get it here in a sec. I think this might have been, if not the first, one of the first knives I've ever gotten in titanium. But it is in M390. And yeah, ceramic ball bearings on this one. Not usual. Definitely unusual. And me being the way I am, I will take it apart to show you guys. I don't think I've messed with QB yet. Okay, the green mat is back. I don't think I've heard of one of those, nope. One thing that I think we should petition on is telling companies to stop making knives with T6 hardware, because I am tired of this shit. You know it's cheap. I know it's cheap. Everybody watching this knows that it's cheap. So stop doing it. Nobody wants your cheap little tiny screws. I want T8s or T10s. I don't like messing with the T6s because I break the bits so goddamn often. Okay, so it is stainless bearings. It has a ceramic detent ball. Or the triangle Microtech screws. Those things are garbage too. Like, I'm sorry guys. I know the Microtech triangle screws look kind of cool, but when I round off one of my screws on a $400 knife, I'm not going to be a happy camper. So I'll be honest, toughness isn't something I typically focus on. I've started focusing more on edge retention, and that's kind of always what I've been fascinated with because the materials used to make a knife have insane edge retention are weird. Like vanadium, not much chromium. I just like the weird stuff, which is why I think Pro Cut is going to be interesting to me. Can't wait to get my hands on some of that stuff. But now I'm kind of getting more into the carbon steels, but not quite 1095. Like 1095 is fine and all, but it's not stainless enough. That's why I'm enjoying Maximate so much. Is Maximate, it'll rust a little bit in your pocket when you sweat, but it's not super bad and you can just kind of wipe it off. 1095 in the same pocket for the same amount of time will have pitting occurring. And the reason why is because, give me just a sec, I need to find my notebooks. All right, where did I put those? Oh, the joys. Oh, there they are. Okay. Blue notebook. Has the blade steels in it. Oh, Chef Rocky knows what an OTF is. He's wondering what knife specifically. Alright, fine, I'll look it up. I don't typically mess with Boker though because they're both pricey and cheap at the same time. Boker. Okay. That in D2. Hmm. Huh. Do I have 1095 written down yet? S30, S40, S35, S45, S60. I should have S110V, S125. So I don't think I've done... Anyway, I've done Maximate, though. Oh, come on, skip to the back. Yeah, there we go. Chromium, 4.75%. All right, Laren Thomas. Actually, let's just use the app real quick. 1095. 1095 has 0 chromium. Alright, we'll see you later, Zaro. Have a good one. Appreciate you sticking around. So yeah, the reason why Maximate will rust a little bit and 1095 rusts a lot is because of the chromium content. Well, Rex 121. Yep, Rex 121 will rust, but it won't rust as bad as 1095. I wonder if there's a stainless version of 1095. No, I don't want S35VN as a replacement for 1095. I just want a more stainless version of 1095. 1084. Nope. Number 20. No. Number 40. No. 45. No. 50. No. 55. No. 65. 70. 70's interesting, but no. 75. Nope. Looking for chromium. 85. No. What about you? That's stainless, but I don't want fully stainless. Well, that's the thing, is 440C is stainless. I'm looking for something that's a high carbon steel. Oh, this is interesting. O170-6. If I turn this sideways and then put my phone on it. Nope. The fan's just gonna always be in the fucking way. Okay. Oh, I almost forgot. I gotta put the MKM away. So here in about 20 minutes, I think I'm gonna end the stream. Yep. I introduced a lot of knife people to this app. It's probably the best app on the market that's free, and it's treated me great. I love this app so much. Okay. Awesome. Not enough. Let's just scroll down and bam. No. Oh, powder metal? No, that is dog shit. You. Cold work tool steel. I kind of like the cold work knives. Or the cold steels. Not cold steel, the company, but steels that are cold rolled. And the reason why I like those is because you can work harden them to like some insane numbers. We're talking like H1. H1 and H2 are both cold rolled steels. So they're not heat treated. But if you sit there and cut cardboard really fast and heat the blade up, it gets harder and harder the more you do it. And you can get Spyderco did some testing with it, and they got H1. This is going to sound insane. They got H1 up to 68 HRC. '68 HRC is wild. Yeah, it says it right here. H1 is a work hardening steel, which is supposed to get harder as it is used. According to a 2006 post on the Spyderco forums, Crucible Specialty Steel or Metals tested at least two Spyderco H1 knives, one plain edge, another with the spider edge, and even though the spines were still 58 HRC, the edges measured 65 and 68 respectively. So if you guys don't know, 68 is hard enough to cut glass. Absolutely insane from a cold rolled steel. Now, of course, I don't think that if you're sitting there cutting cardboard, you'll be able to pull off getting it up to. Ooh. I am interested in this. T1. Star Zenith. I like that name. I want to try out some Vanax. Dude, this shit would be wild. I mean, comparing that tungsten content to Rex 121, it is 7% more and 4% more than Maximate. With similar chromium content on both. The downside is it has really low carbon and low vanadium. Does it have cobalt? No, but it has copper. I wonder if we could make one of this steel, where you up the carbon to 2%, up the vanadium to what, 4%. The chromium's good where it's at. Do these ones both have cobalt? They both have cobalt, so we'll add cobalt. Take out the copper. Yeah. $100 for Vanax. Oh, that's got to be a shitty heat treat. I hate to say it like that, but it probably is. Let me grab my other notebook real quick. We'll write down this this idea for a new steel. Oh, song of the week. I didn't get to say the song of the week. Let me... Paradise by Smash Into Pieces. The new one, not the old one. There's a difference. There's a female singer in this new one. And that worked out really well. Okay, now. What do we do? Like steel theories or something? Because this guesstimate version of Star Zenith that I'm thinking of is I make your own. Okay, I'll look into it. Give me just a sec and I'll look into it, but I need to write this down before I forget it. Steel theories. Okay. Carpenter Star Zenith. It's a shit ton of tungsten, dude. That is really, really high in tungsten. You're right. That's why I'm curious, because it's got almost double the tungsten of Rex 121. Okay, carbon, I want 2% minimum. Tungsten. Vanadium's going up. Chromium is staying roughly the same. Manganese. What do the other two look like with manganese? I think that's for toughness, but I'm not 100% sure. No, we don't need manganese. Molybdenum would help though. I think. We have any ammo in here? We don't. Real quick. Rex 121, molybdenum. Okay. Prevents brittleness and maintains steel strength at high temperatures. We want that at 3% or more. So added molybdenum. And we'll get rid of the manganese because what's the manganese for? Oh. We'll leave that how it is. Nickel. What are we using it for? Adds toughness. It's gonna need it. Nickel. What's silicon for? Strength. We'll put 0.2%. And then what is your excuse for having copper in this shit? Preventing surface oxidation? That's hard to believe. Sure, we'll keep that there too. So silicon and then copper. Percentages: 2% carbon. We'll go with 17.5% tungsten. Vanadium, 4%. Chromium, 4%. Manganese, 0.4. Nickel, we'll stick with the 0.3 that it already has. Silicon, we'll stick with the, we'll go with 0.3. Copper, 0.25. We'll go with 0.2. And then iron percentage. Yeah, I was looking into T1 here just a second ago. Actually, I think they're the same thing. Yeah, they are the same thing. It's the same shit, just from a different company. $100 minus 2 minus 17.5 minus 4 minus 4 minus 0.4 minus 0.6 minus 0.2 equals 71.3, which is still high for iron content on these super steels when it comes to edge retention steels specifically. Both, should we up the... I forgot to add cobalt. That explains a lot. Okay. Give me just a sec. How much cobalt do these two have? 9%. 10%. Okay, so what does cobalt do? There's none in this. Increases hardness, allows for higher quenching temperatures, intensifies the individual effects of other elements. 10%. We'll put 10%. Dude, this shit's gonna be wild. Which should stick it right up similar to Rex 121. No, I need to tear this page out and I need to redo it. Because we need to do okay, well now that we have that out of the way and we know the numbers that we want, we can just write it directly in here. So this is just a guess at what would be good. The problem here is I have no practical knowledge and I'm not a metallurgist, so I have no clue how this will end up. But I kind of want to have some made just to test it. So, we can compare a couple steels. Okay. Carbon, I know all three have carbon. We'll check numbers on this though. So 3.4. Two point 2.15. So we'll stick with 2, actually 1.8. And the reason why I'm saying that is the more tungsten it has, the lower the carbon goes on all the other steels that we're looking into. So tungsten, tungsten, tungsten. W. Rex 121, 10%. Maximit, 13. This one, 17.5. vanadium. All three have vanadium. Except these have some higher numbers of vanadium. I can't add much vanadium. And the only reason I say that is because total vanadium on both of these other steels, like total vanadium and tungsten together on these two, adds up to being 19 for Maximate and 19.5 for Rex 121, meaning roughly 2% for vanadium. Nine and a half. This one's 6. I wonder if chat's broken, and that's why I'm not reading anything. Nope. Okay, cool. And then 2.5. No, we'll stick with the 2. Next up, chromium. Four, 4.75, and 4. Okay. Next up, molybdenum. Maximate has 0. This new steel has 0, but it'd probably be a good idea to have some. Let me double check what it does. I think it's for toughness, but I'm not 100% sure. Carbide former, it prevents brittleness. Okay, so yeah, toughness. Rex 121 has 5%. This has a lot higher tungsten, so probably around the same. Yeah. So MO. 5% on Rex 121. 0 on Maximate. It makes you think if Maximate had some of this, would it add edge retention or toughness? This is going to be some wild shit. If it can be made. So like 4%? Next up, cobalt. These both have cobalt. 9%. 9% in Rex 121. 10% in Maximate. We'll probably stick up there with a high number, but what does it do? Increases hardness. We'll stick with the 9 or 10. So 9, 10. We'll go with 9. Okay. So all the rest on these other two steels is impurities and then iron. We're not gonna add the impurities, but it'll probably have them anyway. So we don't need to be reading from this book anymore. Instead, we need to be reading about this steel and the materials used in it. So manganese is not used in either Rex 121 or Maximate, but it helps with grain structure and hardenability. So we don't want a whole lot of that. So we'll go with 0.3, 0.2. So 0, 0, 0.2. 0.2 or 0.3. We'll stick with the 0.2. Mafio Bill, what's up? Aiden, what's up? Yeah, I'm not super worried about the low grit edges. That's not a big deal. But this right here is a steel that I'm coming up with comparing to these two based off of Carpenter's Star Zenith. Because Star Zenith has like really, really high tungsten, but it's lacking in a lot of these other sections that help with toughness and grain structure. It also lacked in the cobalt section where it had none. So we're adding all this up to hopefully make another super steel, but I highly doubt anybody's going to make it for me. But I'm very interested in seeing if this would ever work. So let's see. Nickel, 0.3. So we'll stick with the 0.3. 0, 0. And what does it do? Adds toughness. Yeah, I don't want to add a whole lot of that, but it's already in there, so Well, I'm not sure how it's going to act because it's really low in vanadium. But if you look at these two steels, when you add the vanadium and the tungsten together, they're both like 19 right here and 19 and a half right here. So I figured I'd stick with the 19 and a half ratio. So I'm not 100% sure on how this is going to act. But it's way higher tungsten, so I'm expecting it to act similar to Maximate. Maybe a little bit less edge retention with the lower carbon content, and molybdenum is added for, just make it interesting. But it will act similar to ceramic, yeah. This is all just a theory. So nickel at 0.3. Silicon was for what? Strength. So, yeah, okay. And silicon was at 0.3. Yeah, that's right, smack dab in the middle. Zero, 0.3. Yeah, this app that I'm using kind of does the same thing, except it's a little more digestible. So copper. And I lowered the copper content because it's detrimental. It says it's detrimental in high amounts. But 0.2 is supposed to help with surface oxidization. So copper at 0.2. And then down to the iron content. Yeah, I'm being a little nerdy tonight. I'm interested in this. I really do want to see where this goes, but I don't expect it to do anything, so, you know. It'd be interesting to see what happens, though, if this actually goes somewhere. So, time for the calculator. 100 minus 13.4 minus 9.5459 is 59.1. Just want to make sure that that sounds about right. Yeah, 59.1 sounds about right. Without adding the impurities. So, well, why does 15V act the way it does is the better question. Clear. 15.15 100 minus 15.15. 13. 6. 4.75. And then 10. That doesn't make sense. No, I did something wrong. Oh, yeah, the minus 13. 73.1, that sounds about right. That would explain a lot. This should be cooking pretty damn hot. And it's got stuff for degassing too, so the other two don't have that stuff. That's what this extra stuff is. Toughness, degassing, grain structure, and surface oxidation. And I think this is for degassing and toughness as well as grain structure. So does 73.1 sound about right for Maximet? It doesn't. What am I missing? Clear. I don't think any of these have any nitrogen added. Minus 2.15, 13, 6, 4.75, and 10. 64.1. Now that sounds about right. But I think it would be cool to see Carpenter come out with this. Should be pretty decent. Oh, cool. I might be able to charge my phone while it's sitting like this. Okay, 100 minus 8. 17.5. 2. 4, 4, 9. Oh, Jesus. And 1. Oh, okay. That's not anywhere near as bad as I thought it was going to be. 2, 4. That's 1. Okay. 60.7. Okay. Definitely add your tension. I think that's it. It's not gonna do anything else. It's like a high-speed steel. Maybe I should get a hold of, see if I can get a hold of Laren Thomas. Top 40 up to 78. How the fuck did they pull that off? That's got to be brittle as shit. There was no tempering on that. Like, guaranteed. Look what I got. I got Lacey's Diamond Emulsion 5 micron shake well, with all the diamonds sitting on the bottom. And now they're not. It's like a snow globe, but with diamonds. I'm curious about this, so I might reach out to, I'll see if he'll respond. What do you mean, what am I waiting for? I did stropping earlier. You missed it. All of it. It worked out well, I'll put it that way. See? I put it right on top of my old strop. And it worked out great. Worked out wonderful. I'm kidding, dude. I just wanted to see your reaction to that. It was great, by the way. Yeah, I put it on its own strop, so. Blue and black. This is hair popping sharp now. Took an incredible edge, by the way. I was really impressed. I didn't even resharpen it, just the strop. And every hair that I touch on my arm just fucking disappears and fucks off to Narnia. Yeah, the vitrified 400 in the strop, and that was it. It's not quite hair whittling sharp, though. I can't quite pull that off. I'm not quite sure what I'm doing wrong to not be able to pull that off, but I'm sure I'll figure it out one of these days. I looked under the microscope and it doesn't have that glassy finish that Alex gets, which was a little disappointing, but I'm not quite 100% sure what to expect anyway. I mean, it did what it was supposed to do. They're sharper than they were. But it's that last level that I haven't quite reached yet. Awesome. I think the Spydercos should arrive next week as well. I got back a hold of Sharpo. I think I've convinced the marketing manager or whatever to send me a full set of the diamond laps or the diamond films. I reached out again because he never responded to my last email, so So how much of that stuff do I use? Do I just rinse it down the sink when I'm done? And no, that was about it. I need to go to a window place and see if I can get a 12 by 12 window. Outside? Okay. You seemed pretty adamant about that. So, is it harmful to the environment? Well, no, it's not. That's a good point. So what you're saying is I should jam a hose down there because I was cleaning it off in the sink earlier, or when I was doing that. Jam a hose down the sink. Yeah. Well, I know what silica is. It's like a 7, but on the Mohs scale or whatever it is. I know a little bit about a decent amount of shit. That was minor, though. You're right. So then there's the other question that I've got. Do I have to have my my stone sitting on something flat and then put the powder on and then get it wet and then put the glass plate on top? Or put the glass plate on like a table and then put the powder on that and then put the stone on top of that and just move the stone around? Because y'all made it seem like I have to use the glass as the thing that I'm rubbing on the stone instead of the stone on the stationary glass. And I think these are important questions. That clarifying this stuff is kind of important to me. The more clear everything is, the longer lasting the tools that I get will be. How different is 15V from this other steel that I'm talking about? 15V. Oh shit, that's simple. That adds up. I've just got the one strop. Well, I could use the other one, but I don't know which one comes first. Because we've got 5 micron and then we've just got stainless polish. So I think that this would come first and then this. I don't see how the full body would change anything to me, but maybe it does. I don't know. I hold my angle pretty damn well. And then we've got the other problem where I don't grow hair fast enough and it's not long enough to pull any of it to do his stupid test. Nope. Not sharp enough. Oh well. I'm happy with how sharp it is, to be honest. Every time that it touches a hair on one of my arms, it just pops it right off, and now my arm's bald. Why do I do this? I think you might have missed my earlier question, though. If you're still here, anyway. Ooh, thinner paper. Shit. Yeah, it's weird. Seeing it actually not care about paper, the first time that happened earlier today, it blew my mind. Maximate hates paper. So it makes me wonder if it's going to hate cardboard more now. I don't know. I don't think it's going to make a huge difference. Dude, the strop brought this thing back to sharp. I mean, all I have to do, or all I have to test it on is cardboard right now, but like glass on concrete, that sounds horrible. Anyway, my question from earlier. Does it matter if if I place the glass plate down on a table and have the stone on top, or do I have to have the glass plate on top? I think you were off watching one of Alex's videos. I should change my channel name. I'm thinking of changing it to the Monotone Knife Dude. That sounds fucking retarded, but yeah, that would be accurate anyway. You know whose videos I can't stand? Ray the Sharpener. I'll be sure to watch a few videos of that stuff before doing anything. Or at least do a live stream and ask a shit ton of questions first. Oh yeah, Lacey was nice enough to send me a Band-Aid. Never actually needed to use one of these for a knife wound, but it's the gesture that matters, right? Just one what? Well, it's closing in on 2 a.m. I think once it hits 2 a.m., I'm going to go ahead and end the stream. Yeah, I think he has something like that. But I don't think he holds an angle the same way I do. His is at least 4. It might be up to like 6. You know, maybe I do need to. Well, I've got five. That's what I have is the 5 micron. I don't have anything. Well, I have one that's lower than that, but I had a problem with it, and the reason I have a problem with it is because. So right here, it's the Chiefre cut one, and this one is a 0.5. And that's a huge jump from 400 grit to 0.5. So I tried using it and it didn't do shit. So I decided it's probably not going to get used very much until I have a strop progression that makes it work. But like I really don't think that it's going to do much for me. The whole strop? Fuck. Fine. Give me a minute. Jesus. I don't even use the whole strop on my other one. I don't want to pull the box out. Yep, I already do that. Behind the camera, I wipe them off. That is a scary thought right there. And you're probably the only person that's going to understand what I'm talking about. It doesn't feel sharp. Like, you touch it and it just doesn't feel sharp. It doesn't feel like it's going to get you. And that's a terrifying thought to me. I mean, I know if I move too fast, it's going to cut me, but Other than that, it just doesn't feel like it's going to do anything. It's almost mockingly sharp. Yeah. Mm. So what does glassing do? Is it just... Well, I kind of want to see it under a microscope, so let's do that real quick. What is that? Did I roll the edge? Is that what that is? I think I held the strop, or I stropped it at the wrong angle. I think that's what that was, at the very edge. Unfortunately for us today, I don't have any hair that I can grab that will just freely come out. Weird, so it doesn't cut a bag easily. I'm gonna go grab another paper towel and we'll test on that. My hair is really short, it just doesn't come out freely. And I think that might be why I'm having trouble with the hair whittling part of things. Is my hair is really short. So the hair doesn't have any weight to it. Oh yeah, thanks for splitting right where I needed you to not split. You piece of shit. You know, you've got a wonderful point where I could just go over to my sister's jacket and grab a handful, and then suddenly I have hair in my hand. really, really wild and curly. Nope. I'm gonna be honest. I think it needs resharpened. And the reason I say that is that micro edge that it had is going to cause issues. I don't know. I never really asked that question. Anyway. Giving it one chance. Yeah, I did put a micro bevel on it from Stropping. That was a mistake. But we have things to fix these issues. Just quickly. And yes, this is the 600, not the 140. Well, what else are we going to do? That micro bevel is a little bigger than I thought it was. And yes, it is the 600. I looked at them both first. That's what I didn't do last time. Just a quick glance and you can tell the difference. The diamond pile sizes are blatantly obvious. There's a huge difference between the two. Okay. Burr removal. That feels sharper, but it has a burr still. Not terrible, but it's there. I'm going to be sharpening kitchen knives on Saturday. And tell me about it. The cheap shit, it always deburrs like shit. Okay. Better. I wish Spyderco would stop doing this shit. That. This is a perfectly held angle. They fucked up the tip, and they do this on almost every single one. This side looks great. This side is two different angles because they fucked up. That is not my fault, and I'm not following through with that. I don't know why I'm moving that. Wipe it off real quick. Okay. Which one do you think he'll choose for what? Oh, that's toothy. That is way toothier than the vitrified. I don't think he'll appreciate the weird shit as much as I do. And the reason I say that is he seems to like the lesser expensive things, which I can completely understand. But I've gotten to the point where I kind of stopped worrying about price. I just want something weird. And this fits the bill perfectly because it's something that I already owned and then got rid of. And it's something I missed the whole time. I regretted getting rid of this thing so much. Like when I start getting, or when I get a decent paying job, I think most of my collection is just going to be the weird stuff. Specifically, weird blade materials. I don't like weird knives, it's just the blade material. No, my PM2 is wild, but I never even carried it. I literally left it in a box the whole time I owned it. Oh, that is weird. It's glassy. It's glassy when you go this direction, but when you go this direction, it's got teeth. That felt really weird. Does it shave? If it doesn't shave, then it's not. Yeah, it doesn't even shave the same way as it did with the vitrified finish. So I'm starting to wonder if we didn't do enough on one of the strops, or if the vitrified finish is just better. What would be the opposite? Sorry, my questions don't last very long. There's diamonds on it. Yeah. Mm. Yep. That vitrified finish is past 600 grit. The stone itself might be 400 grit. The finish is past by quite a bit. I'm not going to go ahead and resharpen it on the vitrified right now. It needs reprofiled. But once the vitrified stone is flat again, I'll go ahead and resharpen this and we'll go from there. It's past 5 or 6. It's a similar finish to the DMT that I've got here. So it's probably, it cuts like a 300, like a 2 or 300. So you're right there. But the finish it left behind was somewhere along the lines of 900,000. I don't think that it's going to cut a paper towel like it did before. Yeah, it's sitting there struggling. It does it, but it struggles. Yep. Well, I'm going to try the diamond films on this as well, and I want to see how they react. The diamond films go up to 3,000. I don't know. We'll see. I don't think I'm going to go that high. I think I'll probably stick with the I think they've got a 320 and a 600. But they need broken in first before I start doing that. Anyway, it is 2:16 in the morning. Been streaming for almost 4 hours. I think I'm probably going to kick it off here. Yeah, Sharpo responded. I think they kind of just forgot, which isn't a big deal to me. Yeah, check if anything sold on Blade Binge. Maybe? Nope. Just feedback. All right. Any day now, I'll be getting $193 from that sale of the GEC, which is awesome. And that will go straight into buying more Spydercos. You know what I don't understand is why Blade Binge wants me to give ratings to somebody who bought something from me. My estimated arrival time is going to be probably Wednesday, Thursday, maybe earlier, but I paid for it on the 18th. And they were in Arizona. If you want to see feet, you can go over to the Knives I Guess YouTube channel. He shows them off quite freely. And if you pay him $2, he'll put socks on. And if you pay him another $2, he'll take them off. And you might think I'm kidding, but I'm dead serious about that. I think it's just stupid. Like, give me a rating for paying you money? Really? Okay, before I buy it, Para 3 Salt MagnaCut. What is the MagnaCut stuff known for from Spyderco? I love how this dude started off with "Can we see your feet?" and actually knows a little bit about knives. It, that's entertaining right there. Decent hardness. So what, like 63? I'm not into the custom stuff. Way too expensive for me. Oh, oh wait, no. Thank God. That scared the shit out of me for a second there. I was like, I'm about to go buy a set of black scales, black G10 scales for a pair of three because they were on Marketplace for $15. And then I sat there thinking like, shit, I was supposed to have done that already. And then I thought about it. No, I have until tomorrow. I'm supposed to pick them up tomorrow, so Oh, it didn't cost me anything. Yep, it didn't tip. It definitely didn't cost you $800. No clue if you've noticed yet. I don't have 800 bucks. Yeah, see, that's the thing, is when I buy something, I try not to get rid of it most of the time. HCR. It's nothing special either. A little touch up on the strop and it did wonders for this thing. Nope. DMT. Oh, it's way more than 10 degrees. It's probably around like 18. It's a factory Spyderco angle or factory bird, but it's a Spyderco. It's just a cheaper Spyderco. It's their factory angle though, so yep, I'm gonna head to bed. I'm right on the cusp of hitting a 4-hour stream. I didn't plan for it to be that long, but I never really do, so no point in complaining about it, honestly. The tasteful thickness. You have a great night, morning, or whatever it is. Everybody else, have a great night, morning, day, whatever it is. We'll see you in the next stream. And yeah, go check out my blade binge if you want to buy something, I guess. Bye, people.